If pressure is the only thing keeping you moving, you're not leading, you're reacting. And when money feels uncertain, that reaction can quietly wreck your decisions, your team, and your peace. In this video, I'm going to show you an operating system that creates results without panic. Because the goal is not to feel calm. Sounds counterintuitive. The goal is to lead with authority while things are unclear. Let me make this practical. If cash flow stress is making you controlling, short-fused, indecisive, avoidant, you're going to leave this video with a simple framework you can use today. And I'm going to give you a simple 10-minute exercise you can do right after this to reset your leadership posture for the week, the day, the month, the year ahead. So here's what most founders do not realize. Money pressure does not just stress you out, it changes your behavior. When revenue feels uncertain, your brain starts scanning for threat. Brain is created for that. And when the brain thinks survival is on the line, it does not prioritize wisdom. It prioritizes control. So the symptoms show up as you micromanage more than you want to. You say yes way too quickly because at the end of the day, all you want is cash now, which leads to secondhand consequences. You avoid the hard conversations because you do not have the emotional bandwidth to be able to handle them. Maybe you get sharp with your team, then you feel guilty. Maybe you jump between strategies because you want certainty today, not giving them enough time to actually catch up. Maybe you work longer hours, but you're not actually moving the needle forward. See, pressure only makes you busy. Authority, on the other hand, makes you effective. And one of the sneakiest parts is pressure feels productive because you're moving and doing and reacting. But you are reacting to fear, not leading from clarity. So let's name the belief that runs the whole thing. If I'm not under pressure, I'm not progressing. That belief sounds like grit. It sounds like discipline. It sounds like ambition. But it produces leaders who live like this: tensed, controlling, always on edge, overly attached to outcomes, emotionally unavailable for the people they're supposed to lead. Can you relate in any way? It can create results in the short term, but it costs you your peace, your relationships, and eventually it costs you consistency because nobody can live in pressure forever. So here's a reframe that changed everything for me. Peace is power. Authority is posture. Let me define that clearly. Peace is not passivity. Peace is not denial. Peace is not pretending money is not real. Peace is internal stability. It is the ability to look at reality without flinching. Authority is not domination. Authority is not being harsh. Authority is ownership, clarity, boundaries, and decisive communication. Pressure tries to force outcomes, builds alignment. And here's a faith subtext, you could say, that I think every leader needs, even if you do not use religious language, nor do you have a particular religious faith. When you're under pressure, you're often trying to control outcomes that you cannot fully control. When you operate in authority, however, you focus on what you can steward today. Changes everything. That posture shift is where peace comes from. So here's why pressure kills authority. Pressure makes you need the conversation to go well. Pressure makes you need the client to agree with you. Pressure makes you need the team to behave a certain way. Pressure makes you need the numbers to work. So you start performing. You start over explaining. You start convincing. You start defending. You start negotiating your standards. And everybody can feel it. Authority is when you can hold that standard without needing anyone to validate you in the moment and in the process. If you have ever left a conversation and thought, I said too much, that's pressure. If you've ever walked into a call already rehearsing your defense, that's pressure. Authority is clean. It is calm. It is direct. It does not need to win. It needs to lead. So I want to give you a framework right now. This is for those moments where money feels uncertain and you can feel yourself starting to spiral. I call this the runway reset. 4 simple steps you can use today. Let's begin. Step number 1, you want to clarify reality. This is where you replace vague fear with specific facts because uncertainty grows in fog. Facts reduce emotional noise. If you feel yourself spinning, this is the sentence that brings you back to reality. Here's what is true right now, and here's what is not true. Simple facts. In the next 24 hours, I want you to write down the three numbers that you're avoiding. In business, what's your cash on hand? What's the payroll plus fixed expenses for the next 30 days? And what's the current pipeline and expected revenue look like? If you cannot look at the numbers, you are not leading, you are hoping. And hope is not a strategy. Hope is a posture, but it needs wisdom and clarity in order to do what it can. Step number two, you need to then assume ownership. This is where you own the gaps without self-shaming. Ownership restores authority. Blame steals it. When you can feel yourself getting defensive, use this to take the power back. Here's what I own in this, and here's what I'm changing forward tomorrow. But begin today. In the next 24 hours, identify what is one expectation you did not set clearly, whether with a team member, with yourself, with a client. Then write the new expectation in one sentence. Direction is clarity. Clarity is direction. Step number three, lead the conversation. This is where you stop trying to convince and start communicating standards. Pressure makes you perform. Authority makes you lead. If you tend to over-explain when money is tight, this keeps you clean and direct. Here's what you said. This is the agreement. This is what we're doing. This is what must happen on your side. So in the next 24 hours, schedule the one conversation that you're avoiding, and then write three things before you walk into it. What is the objective evidence of delivery? What are you looking for? The missing commitment, and the next accountability step. Step number four, move to accountability. This is where you build a system so follow through becomes normal. When money is tight, your business cannot afford confusion or soft agreements. If you want accountability without feeling like the bad guy, say something like this. We're going to track this weekly so we stay aligned. Accountability, leadership, simple. In the next 24 hours, create a simple scoreboard with 3 lines. What's the promised action? Who is owning that action? When is the due date by? Review it weekly for 10 minutes, even if it's for yourself. This creates clarity, which opens up ownership, which raises your standards and creates a deep level of accountability. This is how you lead with peace under pressure. Here's a personal story for me. This happened a couple of years back. I used to run on pressure, very normal. Pressure showed up everywhere, in sales, in team development, in leadership meetings. I used to tell myself I perform better under pressure. Sound familiar? It was this constant feeling that I had to perform for things to go well. And there was a time where this hit me really hard. I had a client who was upset about results. And to be clear, we were at the time doing our part. The systems were working, leads were coming in, our marketing systems were bringing in new potential patients. But on her side, she was frustrated. And I could understand her. I could feel the pressure rising in me as well. I felt like I had to convince her that we were doing our part and that she was not doing hers. Now, if you've ever been there, you know that pressure. Your chest tightens up. Your brain starts rehearsing arguments. You start preparing to defend yourself. But here is what I realized. The pressure was not even about the results. The pressure was coming from wanting to avoid the confrontation that was sure to show up in the conversation to come. Now, I did not want tension. I wasn't looking for it. I did not want misunderstanding. I wanted to clear it up. So my nervous system was trying to keep me safe by making me over-prepare and over-explain. No longer living in the present moment, running away from a lion as my mammalian brain was on track. Then something shifted. The pressure started disappearing as I was preparing for the call. And it began with ownership. I took responsibility for the areas where we did not set the proper expectations up front for her and her team. Not because we were failing, but because we could have led more clearly. That ownership changed my posture. It moved me from protecting myself into being ready to lead. So on the call, I did something different. I shared objectively what we were doing. Clear, measurable, factual. Literally screen shared and walked her through what was going on. I showed her concisely, clearly, directly on screen where her team was not following through on their side of the commitment. No blaming, no emotional spike, not trying to pretend, not trying to defend myself, not trying to shame anybody. Clear, objective, clarity. And something really powerful happened. She came to the realization herself that her team was not holding their end. I did not have to convince her. I did not have to win. I did not have to perform. I was operating from peaceful authority. And from that space, we created something completely transformational. We built a new accountability process and system to make sure her team was following through on the actions that they needed to take. They weren't even clear. Again, that's on us. We're working together. We brought clarity to it. On the following call, her team joined us. It's about 4 of them. So we were all on the same page, going through the same process, understanding what the outcomes were and the actions that were required. They began the process of reaching out to people who were inquiring about their products and services. They started seeing new patients. And the best part is the team experienced a new sense of fulfillment and purpose because now they were finally being a part of the process instead of watching it happen from the sidelines. And that's the difference. Pressure would have made me defensive, reactive, potentially even aggressive. Authority made me steady, clear, and solution oriented. Peace was not the absence of a hard conversation. Peace was the result of ownership, clarity, and structure. Now, I invite you to apply this. Not tomorrow, today. Here's a simple 10-minute runway reset. Begin by setting a timer. The mind works way better when there's timers in place, when there's deadlines aligned. Step 1, in the context of money pressure, because it happens so often in business, write the situation creating the most money pressure in one sentence. Example, maybe cash is tight. Payroll's coming up, I feel behind. Maybe we don't have enough clients. Maybe we don't have enough leads. Maybe I'm not sure how to effectively fulfill on the product already sold. Number 2, list the facts only, no stories. 5 bullets max. What is true right now? Number 3, write what you own in this. One sentence. Where did you not set an expectation for yourself, for your team, for the people around you? Where did you delay on making a decision? Where did you avoid a conversation that needed to be had a week ago? Step number 4, write the expectation you need to reset. One sentence. With a client, with a team member, with yourself. And number 5, write the accountability step. Who does what by when? That's it. If you do this, you will feel this shift, not because money magically shows up, but because your posture changes. And when your posture changes, your communication changes. And when your communication changes, your team changes. And as the team changes, results follow. Be, do, have. If this video helped, here's what I know. Most founders have insight right now, but then deadlines get closer, pressure returns, and you fall back into your default state of being. Inside our school community, I give you weekly implementation worksheets and prompts, as well as deeper trainings that train this posture into your leadership. Leadership that empowers without pressure. Leadership that produces results without burnout or micromanaging. If you want the worksheet for the runway reset and the weekly rhythm that builds peaceful authority into your real life, join us in school. And before you leave, drop a comment down below and tell me where money pressure hits you the most right now. Is it payroll, sales, the overall runway you have left? Or is it just the weight of responsibility of running a business? I read the comments and I build follow-up videos based on what you're dealing with to help you on the journey to get to the next level in your business. See you next time. God bless.